Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to part 2 of my Roses for Springtime compilation. In this little short series, I just want to showcase a lot of the rose fragrances that I have and that I think would be amazing for springtime, because rose is one of my favorite floral notes. I'm a big floral fan and I own quite a lot of perfumes, and I own quite a lot of rose perfumes. So the first video, I'll probably link it in the description if you want to check it out. No pressure. If you just want to check out these next set of perfumes, keep watching. This is another set of 5 fragrances that feature the prominent note of rose. And I think I want to start off the first one with one that is really just a quite popular or a quite prominent rose fragrance. And this is Twilly de Hermès. This is the Eau Poivrée flanker. Now, the original Twilly is a very white, floral dominant fragrance. And I love how in this flanker, they decided to have this one become more of a rose dominant fragrance. This is a Chypre style fragrance. And a classic Chypre perfume is usually features pink pepper in the opening, some sort of floral note in the heart, and then a base note of patchouli. And that's exactly what this perfume has. It's composed with the top note of pink pepper, the heart note is rose, and then the base note is patchouli. And for such a simple composition, this is an incredible perfume. It smells beautiful. Now, I will say, disclaimer, that it can be a little overwhelming, especially with that pink pepper opening. It opens up very, very bright and very, very spicy. So much so, sometimes it can tickle my nose, and even I struggle with that pink pepper opening. And then in the heart, it opens up to a very beautiful, very powdery, very, very powdery rose. But interestingly enough, the patchouli also adds into that spiciness, but mellows out and becomes almost soapy. Almost soapy near the dry down. It is a very, very interesting perfume with such a simple composition. It's a very warm rose fragrance that I think would probably be perfect for those cooler spring days, like very early spring, March or April, just before it starts to get warm. And with this type of fragrance, I know it's marketed to be a very unique and quirky scent, which I do find it is in a way, but I also find that there's something very classy and almost vintage-like in it. And I say that in the best way possible. It almost reminds me of a vintage rose soap, or even rose-scented cosmetics. A lot of people describe it as having a lipstick quality, and I get that. It really smells like a very rich rose powdery scented cosmetic. Like you're in a woman's powder room. It's so feminine, it's so girly. It's so classy yet classic. I think this type of perfume, I feel would be a very timeless scent. That being said, this is not at all a blind buy safe fragrance, and I don't advocate it, even though I am quite the blind buyer. I'm not, promoting anyone to buy anything here. You could test it out, you could smell it for yourself. But I just like talking about my perfumes and just sharing them with you guys. Overall, I think this perfume, it has a very good longevity. When I wear this one, I smell it throughout the entire the entire day. If you put it on for work in the morning, you're gonna smell it throughout the entire day. It is a very persistent, but very close to the skin fragrance. It's not at all a large projecting scent. It doesn't enter the room before you do. It's very close to the skin scent. Very intimate, but very, very pretty. Oh, I never said this was a flanker. It was created back in 2019 by Christine Nagel, who's like, I find that she always makes very, very interesting and very quirky perfumes. The next fragrance that I want to share with you guys is another fragrance that I sometimes struggle with, but I find it to be still an incredibly beautiful rose fragrance. This is Coach, and this is the Wild Rose Flanker. This opens up with a beautiful jammy rose opening, and then it has a very lovely and warm ambery, like ambroxan dry down. I featured this like plenty of times in my monthly rotations. I've worn this mostly in the fall, but I feel like this could still work for those early spring days. You know, like around this time, like March, April, just because of how like sweet and sour that opening is and how warm that dry down can be. Like, I feel like it can work the same way how spring can be a little temperamental. It can be cool in the morning and then warm in the afternoon and then cold again. This will carry you throughout the entire day. You know, so this was a flanker created in 2022. It's a fruity floral rose fragrance. It has top notes of red currant, bergamot, mid notes of rose, jasmine sambac, and it has base notes of ambroxan, tonka bean, and moss. So, like I said, that red currant and rose just really creates it to be like a very syrupy, sweet, almost like a rose jam, candied rose scent with like a slight tartness to it. And then that ambroxan and tonka bean mix in the base is what makes it so ambery and sweet and like slightly vanillic. That base is very reminiscent to Cloud, or even like, I don't want to say BR540 because that might be pushing it, but you know what I mean. Like it has like that sweet, almost sponge sugar, ambery, Cloud-like type DNA. If you're the type of person who had liked Cloud or even liked Burberry Her, yeah, actually, I think if you liked Burberry Her, you would like Coach Wild Rose. Honestly, even if you didn't like Burberry Her, you might like Coach Wild Rose. I, for one, was not a fan of Burberry Her. I didn't like that combination of the strawberry with that cloud-like DNA. But I do like this one. Unfortunately, I get headaches if I spray too much of it. Or sometimes even just the dry down I find in the wrong temperature. Like if it's too warm, I get headaches. So I would caution, just to be a little light-handed with this perfume, because it does last. It does have very good projection and very good longevity, but so much so that it can trigger headaches, for me at least. Still a beautiful, beautiful rose fragrance. I don't know if it's so much like a wild rose as they like to market it, but I do think for like a candied sweet rose perfume, this is a great fragrance. The next one I want to feature is a fragrance that's new to my collection, but I'm familiar with the style of fragrance. This is Philosophy Amazing Grace, and this is the Ballet Rose Flanker. And this is so cute. Like this shade of pink I absolutely love. And I like how my nails match it. And the way like this shade of pink is, like this dusty, almost like ballerina pink, that's what this perfume reminds me of. It is a cute, like pretty girl, clean, fresh, soapy, shampooey rose. And I think this is a great everyday wear. If you're the type of person to like Chloe fragrances, you might like Ballet Rose. It's very, very similar to Rose de Chloe or even the Chloe signature. Just, amp up the sweet fruitiness and that shampoo soapy quality. This was created in 2017. They categorize this one as a floral woody musk, but really I get more like a musky, fresh, floral, rose. Now, my only thing is that it can kind of lean on generic, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you don't want a bombastically loud fragrance. Sometimes you just want a simple, sweet, clean perfume to get you through the day. And I think that's what Amazing Grace Ballet Rose is. I think that's what a lot of Philosophy's scents are. They're just very easygoing, very simple, clean perfumes to wear. That don't necessarily have to be like attention grabbing. Do you know what I mean? There's something beautiful in very simplistic fragrances. It's a sweet, fresh, clean, shampoo like rose. It's a very youthful, very girly girl scent. And like I said, it's perfect for every day, perfect for springtime wear. It has opening notes of lychee, mid notes of like rose and peony, which gives it that sweetness. You'll find I find that that's a very, very, very popular combination, is that lychee, rose, peony. Like that's the trifecta of rose fragrances. And in the base for Ballet Rose, it has white musk and woods. So like I said, it kind of leans on generic. You definitely might have smelt this in other fragrances, but if you don't want to spend that much money for Chloe, I feel like Ballet Rose is a very good alternative if you like that type of DNA. You can find a lot of Philosophy fragrances at Ulta. You could even find them at discounted stores. They're very affordable. You can get them online. I think these are great to gift for like your daughter, anyone that's young and just looking to smell good. I want to add a little like bonus for this one, and this is Rose Rich. This is by Le Monde Gourmand, and this is like a body spray, although they do have the perfume of this one. And I think that it smells very, very similar to Ballet Rose. I think this one was probably inspired by Ballet Rose, and Ballet Rose was inspired by a Chloe fragrance. So they probably layer well together. My only difference that I find with Rose Rich is that this is very, very sweet. It is a very sweet, sugary rose fragrance. Like, imagine if somebody had gotten like rose and peony petals and then sprinkled like sugar all over it until they become macerated. It's very, very sweet. It's a little too sweet for my taste. I find that sometimes the sweetness can kind of turn my stomach. Not to deter, it is still I think a very lovely rose fragrance, and I think it smells so fresh and sweet and clean, but like I said, that sweetness can kind of make me just a little nauseous. So I'm gonna kind of like count these as 2, but if you happen to find the perfume of Rose Ridge, or even like Rose Macron by Le Monde Gourmand, those are also really great rose fragrances for the springtime. And last but not least is another Philosophy fragrance. This is Pure Rose and Pure Grace, and this is the Nude Rose Flanker. Like Ballet Rose, I think that if you are a Chloe fan, you would like this one. I feel like this honestly leans more towards that Chloe DNA than Ballet Rose. This is a beautiful green, warm rose fragrance. Yeah, it was created in 2017. And I find that this one almost has like a cut grass quality to it. Like, I hope I'm describing this well to you guys, because I don't want it to sound like, oh, you're gonna smell like somebody mowed the lawn. Like, no, it's a very green, clean rose scent. This one I find is not at all sweet like Ballet Rose. This is actually more of a serious scent. There's something like almost sheer about it. Like imagine like if you're in a rose field that's had, you know, a very grassy rose garden after the rain or something like that. It's a very, very clean, very crisp rose perfume. It has top notes of green notes, dewdrop, which I'm guessing is what gives it that aquatic feeling. Rose petals are in the mid, neroli and orange blossom, and the base has musk and cedar. So very almost like Ballet Rose, it can lean a little generic, but probably because, you know, we've already smelt perfumes that are very similar to it. Like I said, if you like Chloe, it's very similar to that Chloe DNA, but it's more affordable. And, you know, you could find this at your local Ulta or any discounter or even online. My only qualm with a lot of Philosophy fragrances is that they don't last that long. I would probably get about 4 to 5 hours wear with Nude Rose. But before you have to touch up, not that I ever mind, like longevity isn't the biggest deterring factor for me. As long as it's like I'm not reapplying it like every hour or so. So you do get some good wear out of it. I think this is a great year-round fragrance, actually. There's something that's warm in this that you can wear during the fall, which is when I like to wear it, but the rose is so nice that you could even wear this during the springtime. And I think that's it for part 2. Another 5 fragrances that I wanted to share with you guys. Like I said, I own a lot of florals. Tell me what you guys think. Talk to me in the comments below. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. Maybe you guys can guess what I'll feature in my next one. Maybe not. I don't even know yet. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to. I always appreciate it. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.